Hey folks, it's time for the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view review. As you probably guessed, this show originally didn't have much to any build-up originally for at least a while, and then of course, it's like a last-second pay-per-views, few weeks in advance kind of deal. It was more of a build-up to the King of the Ring that they had, and it was like, 3 days from now. Guess what, King of the Ring, folks. But seriously though, so. We kicked it off tonight with the the tag team player. Tag team Elimination Chamber match, which consisted of Sin Cara Kalisto, the Lucha Dragons, Tyson Kidd Cesaro, the Ascension, Primetime Players, New Day, and I want to say I'm forgetting a tag team. I think it was Los Matadores, I believe was the other tag team, so. I did a little rant on why, rant on why, why isn't the Eric Rowan and Luke Harper in this? At least they'd be a bigger threat than the likes of Los Matadores and the Ascension, who were meant to be joke tag teams. But anyways, so we had the Elimination Chamber tag team match, and I believe it was on the pre-show that Corporate Kane said that since the New Day, which apparently they're magically aligned themselves with the Authority for some odd reason. So they're all three of them are going to be in the pod, and they're all like upset. They're like, "Oh no, let's not be in the pod. Why are we going to be in the pod? Why all three of us have to be in the match?" Okay, each tag team consists of 2 people. In this rare occasion, New Day, it's just them 3. Do the math. 3 heads are better than 2 in this scenario. So it's like, what the hell? It's a freaking handicap match, basically, if they got to the finals. In which they did. It was them and the Primetime Players. Good tag team wrestling, obviously. The New Day got the numbers game on the Primetime Players. So I guess in some way the Primetime Players don't necessarily look weak there because, it was 3 against 2. But anywho, the New Day retains the tag titles. And, to really see who else could beat the New Day, other than maybe the Primetime Players, it was just, 2-on-2 tag team match. So, should be interesting to see. Anywho, next we had the, oh my god, Neville versus Bo Dallas match. Now, I'm glad they mentioned this. I believe it was on the pre-show, that, these guys faced each other on NXT last year. And NXT arrived, we gotta remember, Bo Dallas was like the longest NXT champion ever, and then Neville took it from him. He won it in the ladder match, and like I said before, the highlight of Adrian Neville's world title run in NXT. I beat Bo. Anyways, they had their match here tonight, and the match itself, was okay. Nothing crazy good, nothing bad either. It was just an okay match. Neville hits the right arrow, 1, 2, 3, and once again, once again, Neville can say, I beat Bo. Oh boy, what do they do? What's next for Bo Dallas? Anyways, excuse me. Next, you had the Divas Championship match. You had the Triple Threat Divas match. We had Big Titty Wonder Woman Nikki Bella, which she was facing the Crumpet Page. And also, Naomi in my man, the big black booty bitch, quadruple B's if you're, playing that nice game at home. Anyways, Triple Threat match for Divas Championship. Match itself was, it was alright. One nice spot they did, which I believe it was like a double powerbomb. I think it was Nikki was hitting the double powerbomb on both Paige and Naomi. That was a nice little spot there, showing Nikki's strength. Hey, she's dating. So she has to do something in that strength department. Anyways, oh god, I'll get to him later. So then we go on to this match, and the match itself wasn't too bad. I'm thinking maybe Paige might take. I don't think Naomi. Let's face it, Naomi's not a threat to get the belt. Let's be serious here. Paige is the most likely possibility, especially since all of a sudden the Crumpa Paige wants to be AJ 2.0 apparently. Oh my god. And 12-year-old Miss Brooks. Fuck. Anyways, Nikki Bella retains the Divas Championship, and as much as I am, Big Titty Wonder Woman Nikki Bella fan, can she please drop the belt now? Because, I'd be looking like a hypocrite from last year, whining, complaining, saying, oh, get it off of AJ, get it off of AJ. Oh, it was a couple years ago, yeah, a year and a half ago. Get it off AJ, get it off AJ, and then wouldn't take it off AJ till like randomly the day after WrestleMania, the night after. And that was like the greatest night of my life. Anyways, so Nikki retains. I don't know who would take the belt from her. Maybe Brie. I don't know. Maybe they might do a swerve. I mean, to be honest with you, it's like, you know, the whole I know they're sisters and they're twins, or as freaking Michael Cole once said, they've been twins for most of their lives. What's it, most of their lives? I think it was most of their lives. It wasn't all their lives. It was like most of their lives, which is stupid. Anyways, they can do better by themselves, especially now that Brie is bringing the jobber, lapdog, hippie Bella now all of a sudden. Like, you don't have to do another freaking growing up Bella. For the love of God, if they do that again, I will contemplate suicide. Don't ever do that again, WWE. So yeah. Anyways, move on to the IC Championship Elimination Chamber. Daniel Bryan was at ringside. He was going to present the championship to whomever won. Rusev was out of the match due to injury, so he did not compete tonight. Rusev didn't crush. Rusev. So then was basically everybody but Rusev. Ryback, Sheamus, R-Truth. Who else was in it? Dolph Ziggler was in it. King Barrett. And it was just weird just seeing like everyone in the match and there's like one empty pot basically, you know what I mean? So anyways, as much as I'm a fan of these two, I'm glad Barrett or Ziggler did not win because again, you know what they do. Oh yeah, they become the IC champion and then nothing happens to them. By the way, Mark Henry took Rusev's spot. Hashtag random as hell. You couldn't put Bray Wyatt in here? I guess the one bright side though, again, you didn't put Bray in here was that, hey, he probably would have lost. So it's like, no, another match lost by Bray Wyatt. So at least in that case, you kind of protected Bray there. So next you had the match, obviously. Not a bad matchup. The final two guys were Sheamus and Ryback. I was like, oh, maybe they'll give it to Sheamus. You know, you just had a face IC champion. Maybe you'll give it to a heel. You know, Sheamus. You know, they've been building him up since his return. And then ever since then, he hasn't really done much. But anywho, I'm on the face of Ziggler 8 billion times. But the big guy, that's right, Ryback, becomes a new IC champion, and to me, I approve of this. You know, this is what, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is Ryback's first championship run. And, you know, he's no longer getting the Goldberg chance. You know, he's actually improved significantly in the ring. And the promos, is he the best in the ring or promos? No, not really. But he has improved on both scenarios. Unlike barely a certain someone we all know. But anywho, excuse me. I really do have something in my throat. That's serious. So, Ryback wins the Elimination Chamber IC title match. Dan Bryan comes out, presents him the belt. Ryback, the big guy, is fed with the IC Championship. So, you know, there's a lot of interesting scenarios you go with Ryback with the IC Champion. And again, it depends how WWE books it. You know, with WWE's making the US title with, of course, making it a big deal. Do the same here with the IC title. And don't, you know, it doesn't have to be that holds a mid-card belt for it to be, oh my god, it's popular. You know, you can, you know, make it popular by just doing good booking and, you know, good creative work. Jeez. Anyways, so we move on to, speaking of the United States Championship, you had champion versus champion, of course, none titles won in line. John Cena versus the NXT champion Kevin Owens, making his WWE pay-per-view main roster debut. And pretty solid match. Good match, you know. Yeah. Hell froze over. If my phone wasn't charging right now, I literally just put up a stick, be like, oh yeah, Satan just called. He just told me hell froze over. Because Kevin Owens beat John Cena clean. He did beat him clean. 1, 2, 3. The last time this happened, Brock Lesnar beats John Cena, and that was just a beatdown. This here was not necessarily a beatdown, because at least, you know, Cena, of course, got his fair share of offense in there, but Owens hit 2 pop-up power bombs to John Cena and won. And I'm thinking, oh my god, literally, ugh, I must have a big boner for Kevin Owens. Yes, you do, Triple H. God. Because apparently, if your first pay-per-view debut and you beat John Cena cleanly, no interference, no cheap weapons, no nothing, 1, 2, 3, in your first pay-per-view debut, and you match against him, and you won 1, 2, 3 cleanly, holy shit. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I know supposedly Owens is going to appear more on the main roster, and slowly but surely he's going to be on the main roster more until he eventually, of course, loses the NXT Championship. But, wow, that was, man, God must have went to Vince and tried to smack him several times to tell him that Kevin was going to. Can you imagine that conference meeting? But I want John. John can elevate Kevin to win, damn it. And then freaking Triple H's like, no, this is going to be best for business, trust me. Like, I bet you anything had to do with something like that. But anyways, moving on to the main event. He had Long Lost X-Men World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins versus Joker's long lost greasy hair titty master Mr. Renee Young Ambrose, Dean Ambrose, for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Now, the match itself was okay. And I feel, and this is the problem I have with the main event scene, particularly around the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, you guys know me. I've been supporting Seth Rollins for quite some time now. But what the fuck is this company, man? One thing I'll give other companies such as TNA Impact Wrestling, brother, which probably going to, you know, Ring of Honor, LOL. I believe Ring of Honor does this too. Lucha Underground, basically any other wrestling promotion does this. When they book their heel champions, most, if not just say most of the time, they don't have to cheat to necessarily win matches. Here, of course, God forbid, you have to have JJ Security get involved, and you had Kane get involved, then you had, gotta make it rain in this bitch, baby girl, Roman Reigns getting involved, because he has to freaking save the day, because that robot just can't beat by himself. So, Seth Rollins uses the referee as a shield when Ambrose was going for the elbow drop. And it looked like Ambrose was going to be the new champion, and the referee went to Lynn Garcia and said Ambrose won by DQ because Rollins used the referee as a shield. Thus, even though Ambrose won the match, Rollins keeps the belt. And make it red in this bitch. I'm telling you, how to make the save. Because we didn't have him on this pay-per-view. You had to have him. Yeah, you didn't have Orton on this pay-per-view. I'll get to that too in a few seconds. So then Roman Reigns cleans the house like the robotic motherfucking machine Vince is building him to be. And Ambrose steals the world title. You're telling me two guys, Ambrose and Reigns, can outsmart, say, JJ Security, Seth Rollins, Kane. 4 guys. 2 guys outsmarted twice the amount of people as them. And you can make a joke about, you know, Jamie Noble being half of a person because he's so short. But seriously. Oh my god. I get it from a standpoint. It makes Ambrose look crazy, you know, because he was doing this with when he wanted to become IC champion against, you know, Barrett. And look how that helped him. You know, he still didn't win the belt. So, obviously, they're building up for a rematch at Money in the Bank. Probably in a ladder match or something. But, oh my god. And then they're going to have, what was it? They're going to have, I believe it's Reigns, Neville, Ziggler, Orton, Kofi Kingston, and Sheamus all going for the Money in the Bank. Which should be a good match because, you know, Ziggler, you all know, is going to flop like crazy. Neville is going to give the high spots on Kofi. You know, Sheamus and Reigns are going to be the 2 big guys, and Orton's just going to be there. You know what I mean? But, you know, he's going to be the veteran guy who's obviously had quite a bit of experience being world champion. So, but yeah, overall, this show, obviously, this was just like a throwaway show. So, mediocre. I'm going to say it's mediocre. You know, it wasn't horrible, it wasn't great, it wasn't good, it wasn't, you know, it was decent at best, I'd say, because you know, you had your few good spots, a few good moments, a few good matches, but then it was just, why did they gotta make the goddamn... This is why when freaking, like, the only comparison I can make from this whole Seth Rollins being world champion thing is like when Magnus was like the world champion in TNA several years ago. When they had to give everybody in the mother freaking, you know, pack to go out and help him. I know, granted, it was at one point, I think it was like 12 guys battling Sting, including Magnus himself. Not including Magnus, actually. But, oh my god. And I swear to God, if they give that freaking Money in the Bank briefcase to Reigns, that's going to be such a waste. And I'm not saying it's because Roman Reigns. Because he's already a freaking main event guy. He's basically a main event guy already. Now, you know, to me, I'd say give that to Sheamus. You know, he would make perfect sense. Owens already won it. Kofi, he's already going to have the tag team champion. Neville would be too soon. Ziggler, he's already won it. You know what I mean? I'm not a fan of people winning back-to-back. Well, not back-to-back, but, you know, 2 times being Money in the Bank. I mean, hence why I can't stand CM Punk among a bunch of other reasons. But, yeah. So that's my review, guys, of the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. What you guys think of it? Did you think it was a good show? Did you think it was a show? Tell me what you guys think. Comment down below. Subscribe if you have not to this channel. Follow me on Twitter. Link in the description box. And I get to work at 9 a.m. I can't wait for that crap. Anyways, going to bed soon. Peace.